Hey guys, this is Coach Mark here from Math Coaching. Welcome to this demonstration video where I will scratch the surface and show you guys just a few of the cool features of our online whiteboard software application called OpenBoard. I'm going to throw this little disclaimer out there and say that I'm going to work through several examples of math problems from a few different subjects. And guys, for sake of this video, I'm going to breeze through some of this material so the video is not so long, but please understand that when working with a student one-on-one, of course, I would go much slower, but just trying to cut back on the length of the video. So hopefully after watching this demonstration, you will get a feel for the teaching style and what you can expect to experience when working with us in an online setting. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's say that I am working with a middle school student in 7th or 8th grade, and we are working on solving an algebraic equation. Let's say we had something like this: 5x minus 3 equals 7. I'm solving for the unknown variable x. I need to undo any addition or subtraction first. So the inverse operation of subtraction is addition. So I will add 3 to both sides of the equation to keep my equation balanced. 3 and negative 3 will cancel. I'll bring down my 5x, bring down the equal sign. 7 plus 3 is 10. This is multiplication. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I will divide both sides by 5. 5 over 5 is 1, so they'll cancel. And of course, we get x is equal to 2. Let's say that I'm working with a student in geometry in 9th or 10th grade, and we're working on shapes, quadrilaterals, circles, maybe right triangles, Pythagorean theorem, and I need to draw myself a right triangle. I can come down here to my shapes folder, and let's go grab ourselves a right triangle. Make that a little bit bigger. I'll do this in blue. Draw ourselves a little box to show that we have a 90-degree right angle. We have side lengths of 3 and 4. We're trying to calculate the unknown hypotenuse x. So here we go, guys. One of the most famous mathematical formulas, concepts, and equations in all of math, Mr. Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b are the two shorter sides of your right triangle. C, of course, is your longest side, your hypotenuse. It does not matter which one you label A and B. I'll let the 3 be A. So I will substitute, and I have 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to our hypotenuse squared, x squared. Let's simplify. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16 equals x squared. I'm going to switch this equation around since we're used to seeing our variables on the left-hand side. 9 plus 16 is 25. We don't want x squared, we want x. So the inverse operation of squaring something is to take the square root. Now, technically, when I take the square root of a positive number, I generate a plus or minus. But since I can't have a negative length in a triangle, then our final answer is x equals 5. And there's our classic 3, 4, 5 right triangle that you guys should have memorized in your mathematical toolbox. Let's stay with geometry, and let's say that I'm working in the constructions unit, which I love. I love working with the compass. And let's say that we're trying to construct the perpendicular bisector of this line here. I can go over to my applications. I have rulers, protractors, compasses, all kinds of cool features. Let's grab our trusty compass tool, put the compass on one end of the line segment, and I teach my students to go more than halfway, about 75% of the way. And I will draw our arcs in blue. So we simply need to swing an arc this way. So I'll come up here and let's go ahead and swing an arc like so. Let's move our compass to the other endpoint of the line segment. Let's bring our compass up here and let's swing a similar arc. Okay, I don't need my compass anymore. And so I simply need to connect the two intersections of the arcs. So I'll go back to yellow here. And let's go right in the middle and draw a line straight down to the other intersection. And there we go. We have just constructed the perpendicular bisector of a line. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and ramp up the rigor a little bit. Let's jump up to Algebra 2 or Advanced Algebra. And let's say that I'm trying to find the vertical asymptotes of a rational function. Let's say that I have y equals, let me go back to my pencil. Let's say that we have y equals x cubed plus 3x squared minus 5 all divided by x squared minus x minus 6. This is the fun stuff, guys, for you middle schoolers and underclassmen. I love advanced algebra. I could do it all day long. It's kind of funny that I was an engineer in the industry for 10 years, and engineers have this funny stereotype that everybody thinks that we wear glasses and we play chess all day long and stay up until 1 o'clock solving math problems. I can assure you guys, nothing can be further from the truth. We stay up until 3 o'clock. Okay, if you didn't laugh at that, something's wrong with you. All right, so I'm going to stop here, guys, and take an opportunity to show you guys the cool feature of when my student is logged into the same software application, and when they annotate and draw on the screen, you can actually see who's writing. So I've actually logged in. I'm doing all this on a Zoom call. We do all our tutoring sessions through Zoom so I can record them. And I've actually logged into my personal iPad here on the side. So let's say that I've already modeled how to solve this problem, and now I'm allowing the student to try one on their own. And I'm going to come over here with my stylus on my personal iPad. Now, I understand, guys, not every student's going to have an iPad, a tablet, or even a cell phone. If you do, you can use your finger, you can use a stylus, you can use a pen. If you're working from your computer at home, you can annotate on this whiteboard just simply using a mouse. And of course, if none of this works for you, of course, we can fall back to our old school tried and true pencil and paper if you want to work out the problems on your own. I prefer for both of us to see it on this whiteboard. So let's see how this works. So I'm going to come over here to my iPad. And so to solve for the vertical asymptotes of this rational function, I need to set the denominator equal to 0. So if I set that equal to 0, now you'll notice, guys, on the screen is showing Mark's iPad. So that's really cool. If I'm teaching a class with a group of students, I can see who is annotating, who is drawing at what time, which is a really neat feature. This is a simple quadratic trinomial where a equals 1. So I need to simplify what two numbers multiply to give me -6, but add to give me this understood -1. And those two factors are -3 and +2. So this quadratic equation will factor as x minus 3 times x plus 2. We're going to set this equal to 0, and our 0 property product says I simply just need to flip both of these signs, set each one of these equal to 0, and my final answer will be x equals 3 and -2. Those are the x-intercepts where you would see the vertical asymptotes. So I want to show you guys a couple more things. Something that is very, very near and dear to my heart is the TI-84 graphing calculator. Guys, I still have my calculator that I had when I was in high school. I used in college. I used as an engineer in industry. I use it as teaching, and now I'm using it as tutoring. So I have so many tricks, tips, and secrets that I can show you guys on the calculator for how you can check your work. So let's say that I'm going to clear this, and you'll notice that the iPad annotation is still there. So I can come up here and let's clear all of the drawings. And let's say that we're back in algebra. And let's say we're working with our exponent rules, and we have x squared times x to the third. What does that simplify to? So our product rule, this is a product rule when you multiply exponents. Our product rule says that we are simply going to add these guys together. 2 plus 3 is 5. So this simplifies to x to the 5th. So if I want to check that on my calculator, I can simply come over here, and I've got a TI-84 graphing calculator emulator, which basically simulates a real calculator. And I can teach my students how to check this on their calculator. So I teach them how to assign a number to every letter of the alphabet on the calculator. So let's turn our calculator on. Let's type in the left-hand side of the equal sign, x squared times x to the third. And we're going to get some number. Fine, we get a large number. We don't care what that number is. We think this is equivalent to x to the 5th. So let's check it out. Let's type in x to the 5th, and let's see if they match. Drum roll, press enter. Voila, they match. Guys, this is what sets math apart from other subjects, is the ability to check your work most of the time. So this is a really cool feature. And I just want to show you guys, I can graph stuff here if my students were working on graphing lines, that kind of thing. Now, the last thing that I want to show you guys is probably the most important feature of this whole software application. And that is the ability to upload files that you're working on. Let's say I'm in South Carolina, you're a student of mine in Washington, the state of Washington. How am I going to be able to see your test review or your homework problems? Well, simply I ask my students to, if you have a Word document, a PDF, a graphic organizer, to upload that, email that to us. prior to our session so we can look at the same thing. If you don't have the document, simply take a picture of the information on your phone, send it to us, and we can look at it together. So I'll show you how that works real quick. Let's say that I'm going to go over here to our, let's close this out. I'm going to go over here to our documents, and let's go to import. And let's say that you're working on a solving quadratics quiz review. So you send that to me, I upload it, open this in OpenBoard, and bam, there it is. So now I am looking at the same homework that you're working on. I can magnify this, blow it up a little bit. I can move this around. And in this case, we're factoring a quadratic expression. We're factoring out the GCF, the greatest common factor. And so to do that, the greatest common factor in number 1 is 3x. I'll factor that out, and that will leave us with 3x plus 2, so forth and so on. So there you go, guys. A quick little demonstration for how our platform works. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Hope you got a better feel for what you can expect when working with us here at Math Coaching. So thank you so much for watching, and go out there and make it a great day.